Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change, Mitzvah Hashem, to change our lives. Look at a Sichus, like Aleph Pashas Beshalach. This Shiur is sponsored by Anonymous for a hidah to keep for this person, for Hashem keeping her safe. She should have all the good, and Hashem should constantly keep us safe. And in the schutz of our learning and the schutz of the being broadcast all around the world, making it available, that should give added strength and added bitachon, and only good should be for everyone that needs it. Okay, let's finish off this portion of the Sikha. So we're discussing why those, by the war of Amalek, those two wars Eden had in this week's parasha. One of them is Mitzrayim, which was Hashem Yilachem Lachem. Hashem wages that war. And then you have the war with Amalek. And Amalek was the one that we had to wage war. Now what's going on over here? Why one is Hashem takes care of it, whereas Amalek was us. So essentially what we discussed yesterday is that Amalek were a different type of war, because Amalek was standing in the way of us receiving the Torah. They weren't standing in the way of us going to Eretz Yisrael, Eretz Zavas Chalvad Vash, a beautiful place. They're standing in the way of us and the desert, and therefore we had to go wage a war against them. And what we started to discuss yesterday, and not just we had to go wage war, but that war was specifically with Moshe. And this is an important point that we didn't stress so much yesterday. We're going to discuss some more today. It's really connected with Moshe. That Moshe was the one that chose the army. He was the one who pushed the war, and very much connected with Moshe. And ultimately, we asked ourselves, and the Rebbe really brought out that this also applies to ourselves. The what's Amalek for us? Amalek is there's a lot of levels of Amalek, and in different Amalek, talk about different ways. But Amalek in this context, we're talking about they're cooling you off. Person's excited, he's going to receive the Torah, connected, and Amalek comes and cools you off. And we have to look in ourselves, where is that Amalek cooling us off? And another point we have to recognize is that we're not going, the whole war of Amalek, with Gashmias, their war when the Yidden had with Amalek was much stronger than them, much more powerful than them. Yidden were just some slaves coming out of Egypt. They weren't warriors prepared for battle. And the reason why they won was because of their connection to Hashem, connected to the Torah, and connected to Moshe. And this Sikh is actually said in Yud Shvat. So what we're showing here, what we're seeing here, is that the ability for them to win was their connection with the Moshe. And you can apply it to ourselves when we're talking about ourselves, because like we said in the Sikh, that what's our Amalek, part of the victory we have with Amalek is that connection to our Moshe and the Rebbe. A lot of times people ask, it's a very famous question, why do people have a Rebbe? Why do you need a Rebbe? You go to Hashem. I dive into Hashem. Why do I have to ask the Rebbe to intercede on my behalf and the Rebbe help me and dive into Hashem? I go straight to Hashem. So I don't know, I can't answer everyone's shaylas, but something that I've thought about in the past. I've thought about this question. It's a in a certain sense, a good question. Why do you have someone interceding? So there's a few answers. And one of the answers that's given is that we have to realize that just like Moshe wasn't a separate person. Moshe was the head. The head is not a separate part of your body. The head is part of the body. The head affects the whole body, and it really helps the body work well. If your head's going well, you can do a lot of good things. If the head is messed up, then everything's messed up. If you try to separate your connection with the head, it doesn't work. The Moshe Rabbeinu and the Rebbe and all the Gedolei Yisrael that are the heads, so like I talked about in Tanya, they're not a separate part of us. They're the part of you. It's not that there's either Hashem or and I don't need the Rebbe, or I go to the Rebbe, whatever. Some crazy people use the Rebbe. The Rebbe is not a different part. He's the head of us. Just like our head is part of us, so too the Rebbe is. And our connection with Hashem is based on using our head. Just like practically the ability to be successful in life is using your head. not your body and just your emotion, but even intellect. So to having a Rebbe is the same type of connection. And as I was by the Farang and Yutis Kislev, Hell was saying that without a Rebbe, you have no real connection to Hashem. And this is an important point that people don't realize, that the ability that we have as Chassidim to live and withstand today, the Chassidim lived in Russia, how they would survive. And that is the Chassidim, that they have Mesiras Nefesh, to go Miftzayim, and to do Shlichus, and just us, living our lives. If you don't have a Rebbe, your connection to Hashem is not good. It's lacking. That's what you need Chassidus for, but not just Chassidus, you need a Rebbe. And this is what the Rebbe is for. And so you could say, I don't mean that you have to have a Lubavitch Rebbe. You have a Gadol, a Gedali Yisrael, someone that's above, that you can go to, that's more connected, that's trying to help you, that their job, and even more, is that they feel that their job is to manhig Yisrael, is to lead, and to really help you with that connection. People like that, they're the ones we have to be connecting to. And if you're going to say, I don't need that, I just learn Torah and I'll dive into Hashem, it's not going to work, because we have a lot of issues. We have Avas Atzmai, we have Yetzer Hara, and all this things get in the way. And just like this war with Amalek, Amalek is a symptom of us, that we have an issue, that Amalek gets in the way and it calls us up and makes it hard to do Torah mitzvahs and hard to connect to Hashem. The way we succeed in that is waging war with it, but it's with the help of the Moshe and help of the Rebbe. It's not just even this. We learn Chassidus. It's not Chassidus without the Rebbe. It doesn't work. We have to have a Rebbe as well. Just this is part of what we're saying over here. Yeah, and just to finish it off, the Sichon. So we're saying, something that cools us off. It cools down. I made soup last night. I didn't make soup. Someone graciously brought us soup, and it was hot. So I put some ice in it to cool it down, and that cools down the soup very much. That's a good thing when it comes to soup. When it comes to that connection to Torah, someone puts an ice on our fire, on our excitement, it cools us off. That's not very good. So sheyesh davar hamatzani matter, something that's cooled us off from Torah. Yesh lanu hira v'hezel amru. We have a lesson. We know how to deal with this situation. What we just learned. What is that? Yesh lishtamish b'chol ha'imtzayim leilachim. We have to use whatever we can to fight against this apathy, this coldness. Bilvad l'kavod Torah, and whatever it takes, as long as we go to receive the Torah. That's the standard we have. I want to be connected. I want to learn Torah. I want to do mitzvahs. I want to connect to Hashem. And any thoughts, any feelings that get in the way of that, but I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. This is boring. I have to push that away. Say, this is not coming from a good place. It's not coming to help me. It's not coming to connect me. I'm willing to wage war to fight that voice. That voice says, you're not good enough to be able to learn. You can't do that. Yeah, it doesn't work. It's not going to work. You're never gonna change. Those voices we have to fight. That's the first point. The second point is yesh ladas she'ein oizim zeis b'koychei beitzin yadei. Together with that, we have to realize we're not going by ourselves. It's not that I'm going to overcome this challenge by myself with my own ability. Because if I go my own ability, I don't have the power. I'm not strong enough. We're going with the power of the Torah, the power of Moshe. We're using Moshe and that ability to connect to Hashem. It's like we said in Tanya in the last few days that what does it say? That it says in the Gemara that Ma Hashem lekech Hashem imach. What is Hashem requesting for you already? Kiyam liyor, just to fear Him. The Gemara asks, fear is such a small thing. Oh, just to fear Hashem. That's very, very hard. And as Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, this is very much against our experience. That's not so easy. Alter what we say, we have a Moshe within us. So we're going with that power of Moshe within us. And we have to be connected to that Moshe. And with that, you can get rid of all those thoughts. So first of all, we have to realize the Amalek. Where's the Amalek within us? Where's the thing getting us, calling us down, getting in the way of us doing Torah mitzvahs and getting to Hashem, connecting to our nefesh l'kis? Find out what those are, And then we have to realize, and a lot of times it's the self-negative talk that we're having. We don't even realize, when like a simple example for myself. At a certain point in my life, after being in yeshiva for a while, I gave up. I said, I'm done. I'm done with learning. Not that I'm not going to learn. I wasn't that I wanted to be fry or something. I said, I'm not a learner. My Yetzer Hara convinced me so good that he told me, you're not a learner. Don't waste your time. Baruch Hashem, I found some chassidus. The chassidus showed, and I understood chassidus a little bit, and it showed me that this is coming from Yetzer Hara. This is the Amalek that's cooling me down. And Baruch Hashem was able to fight it. And also the fight doesn't always have to be head-on, direct. A good way of dealing with these issues is not going direct head-on, face-to-face, It's going from the sides. You do the little things. If you're having an issue with davening, so don't say, I'm going to start davening tomorrow, I'm going to daven, I'm going to wage war with my Amalek, I'm going to daven the whole davening for 3 hours. That's not a long-term solution. It's little things. Tonight I'm gonna try to say Kriya Shema Shalom Mitzvah, or I'm gonna say Shema, and I'm trying to go to bed early, and deal with the little things that are very shayach and you're very capable of doing, and work on those, and that helps produce the ability to get to the big things. Last ice, Lagabi Apostle, got to the Apostle of Yishma Yisrael. Like we're going to learn next week's parasha about Yisrael. It says Yisrael heard. So what does it mean? So Amar Azal, what did he hear that made him come? Yisrael was the guy that was two priests, and then he finally came. He heard everything going on with the Yidden, and he comes, and so it says Yisrael. He comes, and it says that Yisrael added a whole parsha in the Torah. Yisrael was one of the people that brought down the Shekhinah, because he had tasted all Avodah Zaras Ba'elam, and he said, now I know Hashem is the Emes. But what is the Yishma Yisrael? What did he hear that caused him to come? So it says there's a few opinions. The one opinion says Milchamas Amalek. You heard about the war with Amalek. What does that mean? Hashmua Higia Gam Midjan, even to Midjan. Midjan, which is the famous Maimah Ve'Cholzu, is all about period and separation. And Midjan had its own type of issue, not the issue of Amalek, but the issue of Midjan. Midjan is against Avos Yisrael, and against connection, and against getting along with each other. So even Midjan, we should make it Midjan. Amr Yisrael, you said, now I know how you Haviyasa Hachana Lamatan Torah. Like it says in the Zayah, now that I know this was a preparation for Matan Torah, that Yisrael, even Midjan, which wasn't a good place, but even they heard that the Yidden were overcoming the Amalek in a simple sense, but also in the deeper sense, that even Midjan, even that strife and that separateness that comes out from Midjan, that represents, like in we talked about in the Cholzu, that about obviously Yisrael and about getting along, and all the negative talk about other people and all these issues, that even that gets affected by this war with Amalek. So now, then we go to fight and wage the war with our spiritual Amalek. Like we said before, with the power of Moshe, connecting to the Rebbe and learning Chassidus, Mashpia Hadavar Gamal Midjan, it affects even our Midjan. V'davar zeh Yehav Achana Legilui Kabbalah's Pnimis HaTorah, and this is a preparation to the revelation and to the receiving of the Pnimis HaTorah of the Chassidus. That Mashiach himself will reveal. Amen. Mitzvah Hashem speaking nowadays. And what we're showing here, that the war with Amalek affects our Midjan. Midjan is remember when we learned Techolzu, it's all about that we can't get along with other people, we have all these issues, and we blame other person, and then we give all excuses for everything we do, and we just don't get along. We have all the excuses in the world. That's the issue of Midjan. And what happened was saying, when you work with your Amalek, when you work with that cooling off of connection to your mitzvahs, and you fight that, and you push yourself in that direction, not just it affects that, and affects your passion and excitement for for Torah mitzvahs. And of course, like we said, it has to be through the connection we have with the Moshe, with the Rebbe. Together with that, even it affects our Midjan, like we see by Yisrael, and Yisrael was coming from Midjan. He heard that the Yidden are working on. So in the spiritual sense, we're saying when our Yisrael, when our Midjan hears that we're working, he sees that we're working on a connection to the Rebbe, and that we're not getting so cold and apathetic, and we're speaking nasi to ourselves and pushing ourselves to connect to Hashem more. That affects, we can have more obviously Yisrael. We look at people nicer, and the whole world and outlook is infinitely better. Everyone should have an amazing Shabbos, and will be continued next Sikha next week.